said when, in an interview once where somebody said, "Who's your favorite singer?" He said, "Besides Ella?"
Yeah, right. It's kind of that, you know. It's like she's
Ella Fitzgerald.
Ella Fitzgerald.
Did we say that?
Ella Fitzgerald. And then it's really hard to pin it down because I go through a lot of different phases.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I would say I'm in a big Chet Baker phase.
Okay. Singing or
singing?
Okay.
Singing. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And I would say I put him in a similar category as like Blossom Dearie.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of am in a Chet Baker Blossom Dearie phase.
Nice.
And then all-time favorite. I'm a really big Kurt Elling fan. I love Kurt Elling.
Yeah, me too.
So I would say for right now, those three I super duper love for jazz.
Cool. What else do you listen to? You love Amos Lee.
I do. You know, I went through a really big Amos Lee phase.
I
I'm not quite as in the Amos Lee phase now. I do like what he does though.
Singer-songwriter,
Singer-songwriter Amos Lee. And it was more like just shocking to be up late and hear someone on like the Tonight Show that I was like, this is actually good music and he has a really good voice. I'm into this, you know, and I'd never heard of him. It was kind of bizarre.
You know who I was listening to lately, and I know you've checked out, but I don't know how much. I was listening to him the other night, literally listened to the CD twice, straight, back to back. It was mind-blowing. This is one of my favorite CDs right now. Ray LaMontagne, his album Trouble. And so it reminds me of Amos Lee.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah. Just kind of soulful,
soulful,
great folk songs, still like
man music.
man music.
Yeah. One of my all-time favorites is Michael Jackson. Huge Michael Jackson fan. And then two like shocking kind of indulgences is Beyonce and Michael Bublé. Those are like two like kind of guilty pleasures that I don't often admit that I love, but like when I'm by myself, I get down with some Beyonce, you know. And I think Michael Bublé has a really nice voice, and he has great arrangers doing his stuff.
There you go. Yep.
Those are people that I wouldn't freely admit.
You're friends with some of those arrangers.
That's true.
Yeah, who are they?
Well, John Clayton is a big influence of mine. He wrote a number of Michael Bublé's arrangements, and
what did he do for you?
he produced two of my records, and is a very important friend of mine. And that's it of Michael Bublé's, of my favorite arrangements that he has. I love John's arrangements for him.
Cool.
Yeah. But beyond that, I mean, there are like other, like Otis Redding, like I have legitimate music people that I love. Stevie Wonder, a lot of like...
By the way, anybody's legitimate, right?
Right.
I mean,
sure.
Okay.
But beyond the guilty pleasure,
okay.
you know,
Gotcha.
I have a
Gotcha.
lot of like music that is good music that I love.
Nice. Yeah, thanks. I love that. So here's the thing. Those were all my questions I had for you. Is there anything else you want to give to Singer Television?
I would love to emphasize that one thing that Sarah and I share in common is the belief that singers can support each other and love each other. And that I hadn't really experienced before, maybe a little bit before I met you. I was friends with a few of the singers, but there is like a feeling of if someone downloads that music, they can't download my music, or if they buy that CD, they won't buy my CD, and there's not enough room for XYZ. And there is, you know. And the
So you're
singers...
saying you didn't have so much of that feeling before you met me?
I'm saying I really didn't.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that, and I love you.
I love you too.
So here's the thing that we talk about. Sarah and I talk about this a lot. Singers, in general, can get a little catty. Can get a little bit like, I'm better than you, or I want this gig more than you, and stuff like that. When in fact, the truth is, if Sarah sells 1 million records, all that means for me is that there are 1 million people listening to the same kind of music I make, and that there's room for them to listen to me, right? So if you're somebody who listens to punk rock, you're not gonna not listen to the Germs because you listen to Bad Religion, or not listen to Bad Religion because you listen to the Germs. There's room in your mind and in your life and your recreational activity to listen to both of those people, just like there's room for people who like listening to jazz singers to listen both to Sara Gazarek and to Sara Leib and to Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan and all these old, famous, you know, big, huge, amazing, standard-setting.
And in a genre like jazz, there really isn't room for that like diva-ness because we all need each other. It's not the biggest selling art form anymore. And so the more love we have and the more support that we have for each other, the more the genre is going to thrive. So I just feel like if I can say one thing, it's in any genre, really, you know, just go out, support each other, love each other.
Be good people? I'm all about being good people.
Yeah.
Here's a good person right here, Sara Gazarek. This is singingtelevision.com and singingtv.com. I am Sara Leib. I think that's a great thing to leave them with. How about this? Why don't you leave a comment below and tell us what? I'm putting you on the spot.
Whose shirt you like better? Me or Sara Leib's?
All right, let's show it out. Please don't eat me. I love you. That's a pig. Mine says MySpace featured artist.
Ooh.
Here we go.